Hey guys, I'm needing to do more Pilates because I'm not teaching as many classes, so you guys get to join me if you'd like. This is more for general and advanced Pilates participants, but this particular sequence of exercises is great if you want to improve your walking and your running and your sprinting mechanics. So I'm a sprinter and I need to make sure I have good postural strength and good mobility through the hips, T-spine, basically everywhere in the body. So we'll stretch out the neck and the shoulders, just move in any way that feels good. Make sure you release tension in the jaw, and everything is dynamic in this class. So it means we're not holding anything statically. We're going to move through it. So let's get into a deep lunge stretch for the hips. I want you guys breathing well, and we're adding in rotation here. So square those hips up, add in that rotation of the T-spine, and then we add in a little rotation in the hips to sink into that lateral hip. So stretching out through the front of the hips and then the side of the hips there. You can also add on by deepening this one if you want to come down into the forearms. Make sure your breath matches your movement. If you are holding the breath, you're not doing Pilates because you're not working the core. The diaphragm is a deep core muscle. So let's go for it. Front of the hips, side of the hips. Move with dynamicness, if that's a word. We're going to sit in a deep squat. Notice your position. Is your spine nice and straight and erect? Are your knees pushing out over your pinky toe? Are your feet flat without caving in? And then again, adding on, the hand will come to the lower back, big full reach, and lift the chest up open. Good. So now we're getting into a squat position, deep squat. So strengthen from the foot and feeling as though we're connecting the foot flexors. So push down into the foot flexors, up into the pelvic floor. Some spinal mobility here, rolling from the shoulder blades to low back. We are adding on by reaching through, stretching out the legs, stretching out the back line of the body. So the beginning of the class is all about dynamic stretches. We're going into a saw, working on the back line, keep the toes flexed to ceiling, rotate through the rib cage. So a lot of rotation through the rib cage, a lot of dynamic stretching through the hips to start. Place your legs into the side of your body, doesn't matter which side. We've got some lateral stretches here, side to side. Add on a rotation of the rib cage once again. So big side stretch first, then rotate for the chest going forward. Reach forward and all the way back, stretching the front of the hips in internal and external rotation, stretching the back of the hips. Okay, try and keep those knees down. You can bounce into it a little bit if you'd like. We've got the opposite side. Lateral stretch first, sideways stretching out of the hip. Good. Then add in the rotation. Nice dynamicness through the body. You want to be able to run fast, you've got to be able to get into all of those positions with the hips without, being too restricted. And we need strength and power, elasticity, and that capacity to hold all of that weight through those tendons. So coming forward and back. And now we've got, what do we have next? Nice big stretch. And then we've got some windscreen wipers, arms out nice and wide, feet are out nice and wide so the knees can reach the ground. Try and keep the shoulder blades on the floor, keep extending the arms, keep the ribs on the floor. Add on with a kick, making it dynamic. We've got the IT band here, lower back, nice big stretch. Love this one, especially before a run. So this is a great routine before you do your run. Really get the core and the postural muscles active, hips open. Now we have a bridge roll. So we're aiming on spinal mobility. Reach the arms long and try and feel every vertebra come down. So shoulder blades, T-spine, which is the thoracic spine, mid-back, and then lower back. Grab the elbows, the forearms stay down. This will just open up that mid-back even more. All right, hug the knees into chest, glute stretch. Then we have a hip flexor stretch and a groin stretch by bringing the knee out. We're opening that up. Hamstrings and groin here. Keep both legs active. And hug, open out to the side and open up. flossing through those muscles, the fascia. We work on the hamstring fascia here. So walk your hands up, hold your calf tightly and circle your ankles, splay your toes. Bend and extend, and then work on flexing at the ankle to finish that off, deepening that fascial connection. Circle, bend, extend and flex. Bend, extend and flex. Awesome. Hope you can feel the difference in that one than a normal hamstring stretch. Okay, the next exercise, we have got our bridge lift. So now we've worked on mobility, we're working on strength. Heels down, pull the heels towards you as your hips lift. So hamstrings are engaged, strong ankle, strong core, ribs are slightly pulling down as the hips lift up. You have got an exhale and a pelvic floor contraction on that lift. Exhale to lift, inhale down. Single leg, ironing out any differences, any compensation patterns right to left side. Push down into your foot tripod and really work the foot to core connection here. Foot to glute to deep core. Your glutes are only as strong as your core is functional, which I always say to my clients. We're adding in hip flexor strength here, but not only that, working the opposite arm to leg. Very important in gait mechanics. Do they communicate well as the other side stabilizes? So now we've just got a little bit of stability work, again pushing through that foot tripod of the planted leg and mobility of the opposite hip. Lift high and circle. Breathe through it. 3, 2, and 1 more. Excellent. All right, drop those hips. And now we have some more stability work. All fours swimming on our back. We keep the ribs down and engaged towards the mat. We keep the midsection pulling in as we reach away. So once again, have we got that torso stability and control, and have we got the mobility through the arms and the legs? So this is the reason why I set up my classes the way I do. We work on the mobility first, unlock any restrictions. We've got a double leg stretch here. And then we work on the strength. Again, your aim, keep that torso still, keep that lower back closer to the mat rather than further away. Lock in, midsection, reach away long. Big out breath. Arms don't go further back than that head or those ears. Still working on strength now. We have got our 100. Knees are tabletop, chin tucked, mid-back lifts, and we pulse the arms. This is so good if you get this one right, because you're working on the in-breath for 5 and the out-breath. So controlling the breath as you contract the torso. You can drop the legs lower if you want more out of it, but that mid-back does not move. If your hip flexors or your neck are too tight, okay, or they're fatiguing first, your core is not strong enough. You need to bring your knees back and your head to the mat and work on your deep core. All right, let's get into your open leg rocker. So controlling this flex position with the legs extended. Good. So hip flexors are strong, core is strong. You can hold this position. If you're really strong, the hands are not even on the legs. We are going into teaser, where we extend and snap back. Reach the ceiling. As you come up, reach to ankles. Reach to ceiling. Core in, reach to ankles. Reach to ceiling. Or the sky, the beautiful blue sky. I love being outdoors doing this. I hope you get outdoors, ground your energy. All right, we are in all fours. Because we're dynamic beings, we need to do our Pilates or these core mobility exercises in all different positions. Mobility through the spine, side to side, up and down, and then we're working on our groin flexibility here before we go into the strength exercises and strength stability work through the hip. So thread the needle, I love this one, T-spine mobility through the arm and neck as we stretch that muscle. Let's open it up. Torso is up nice and tall, reaching side to side, stretching the side waist and strengthening the legs here. So glute medius work we have next, that hip stability that we really need in the single leg position. So the side of the hip and the glute, keep the whole body nice and controlled and aligned as well from the shoulder, hip to foot. The foot is not forward of the hip. So control that, and now we work on the hip flexor as we bring the knee and elbow forward, reach long. Squeeze the glute as you kick back though, so we get the whole front and back line of the body. All your hip stabilizers for running, so important. You can't support yourself on one leg, then you're probably not running, you're walking. Okay, so we want to be able to hop basically from leg to leg as we run and be able to support our body weight. Reach it out and big lateral stretch. Your core and your obliques are still helping you as you move side to side. So don't push off from that hand. Use your side waist, stretch it and strengthen it. It should feel like a rubber band. Good. We always want that ability to stretch the band, and the band naturally recoils. That's what the body does. So work the side of the hip here, not the front of the hip yet, the side, and now front to back. Big long stretch. Work the breath. In and out. Good. A few more. And we'll finish our side series there. Now let's work on stability in all fours. We're reaching long, opposite arm to leg, and we're going to take it out from midline back in. So your aim is to keep the hips level as possible. Try not to drop through the midsection, so your belly button pulls in and up. Your rib cage pulls in and up. Don't let anything sink. You want to feel that your glute is active as the leg kicks up in line with the hip. You want to feel your shoulder blade move smoothly and the neck is not overcompensating or restricted there. One more, reach through and out and down. All right, how are we feeling? A few more exercises left, not too long. Let's get into our pigeon. So try to keep the hips square and not fall out of this one. We kick that same leg to ceiling to opposite, each an opposite elbow, and then reach our hands up. Kick up, elbow, elbow, back into pigeon and reach. So I see a lot of people in this one, as they get into the pigeon position, they drop the hip, they drop into the side of the hip. They can't keep their hips square. So try and keep your body square as you get into pigeon, which is that position right there. So a lot of core strength, a lot of hip mobility, which is exactly what we need. We're going to add on with a little bit extra here. See if you can reach to the front of your mat or even the sky. That requires a lot of quad flexibility, that one. But I don't like static stretches, so I don't want you holding it for too long. It's more just to see if you can find that stability point while your quad is going through its full stretch. Because as we run, there's always one leg in front of the body and there is one leg behind. So we need good extension as that leg passes back, past the hip line. If we are too tight, we get pulled out of that postural neutral. We get pulled too far out of our pelvis neutral, and that compromises our posture and our core strength. Can we reach up, up, up? Excellent. And finish off on that exercise. Nice. So in a prone position, you want to try and pull your abdomen off the floor, your belly button and your lower ribs, and you'll really feel your extensors help you in this one. Now we're going to strengthen around the shoulders. So good, strong shoulders in, again, extension. So we want to be able to reach back behind the body. We do so much stuff in the front. We need to be able to activate the back of the body whilst our core is still on. And kicking your heels to your backside, whole back line is talking. Good. So now we have swimming, opposite arm to leg, is kicking up and down. Make sure your glutes are fired up, your thigh lifts off the floor, your shoulders pull down towards your hips, your belly button still lifts off the floor as much as possible. I know this is difficult. Keep the chin slightly tucked and you're done. Great. Last exercise is functional movement, because why are we doing Pilates? Or Pilates-inspired exercises? So that we've got better function in our squat and in our push-up. No rolling up like a piece of wet spaghetti? I said hard spaghetti. Knees, hips, shoulders all lift at the same time. Deep squat with a nice straight spine or neutral spine. Let's go. Jump it in. Knees are out. Push down through the toe flexors. Pelvic floor. You've done it again. Well done.